un día frío, con viento, temperaturas menos que 8.
Wait, what? We all have those days. Things, life, don't always come out like we planned. But that's okay. If you just keep trying, things eventually work out. Take this clown, for instance. Yeah, that's me. Don't judge too harshly, though. Apparently, I had some learning to do on how to use my BMW Navigator 6. Well, I successfully uploaded all of the tracks to the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail. I neglected to realize that I needed to turn off all of my normal GPS preferences, or I would be steered in all kinds of directions away from the trail. Well, I learned this, thankfully, on track 1, so even though I think I'm on the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail, track 1.
This is section 1 of the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail.
I'm only on a part of it. I got it straightened out, though. Let's go watch me fumble my way through this great adventure. Maybe we should even pick the story up about the time I figured out I actually had no idea where track 1 was.
Full disclosure, I managed to, on section 1 of the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail, miss some of it because my Navigator 6 GPS outsmarted. I'm correcting the mistake at this point. Either way, apparently I just don't know how to work my GPS that well.
Okay, hero, let's leave it at that. While the original intention was to leave a synopsis of each leg of the trail, I really can't do that. Because while I traveled a similar distance, I really wasn't on the actual trail that much. And before I make this ride completely boring and depressing, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe we can even get into a little bit of dirt. Or mud, as it were. Oh, look, honey. Magellan finally learned how to use his GPS and find the course. Great. Now if he can just avoid some of these trees laying across the road until he makes his way up to some actual mud. While this road does not appear to be very threatening, our hero may or may not encounter a little worse conditions up ahead. I included these next few clips as incentive for all of you wannabe adventure riders out there who somehow feel that they may be man enough to take on an adventure ride of this magnitude. Good luck. Maybe I'll go ahead and shut up for a little bit so you can enjoy the ride just like our hero did. Oh, and by the way, these clips also are fairly representative of the types of trails you will see in sections 2 and 3. Let's move on to the next event in this adventure, which was running out of battery in my GoPro Hero 7 and having to go to the GoPro Max as my primary shooter, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. This leads us to the discussion of strengths and weaknesses. The GS Adventure has many strengths, one of them gravel roads. But it also has a lot of weaknesses. And one of them is sand. And there is a lot of sand on the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail. Now that's not something you see every day on a ride. And neither is this. Oh, and did I mention sand? Well, we're back to that again. I guess all that Baja pre-running and racing is finally paying off. Just watch me wrestle this beast through this sand. The key here is momentum. You just gotta keep up lots of it. If you slow down in the sand or get too much weight forward, you're not gonna make it. This brings us through Section 5 and into Section 6, where I spent a restful night at the Snyder Campground in Clark County and woke up early and refreshed the next morning to start a new, sunny day.
All right, everyone, I don't know if you can tell, but there is a lot of mosquitoes out this morning. I didn't film for the first hour or so because I was pointed right into the sun, so had to get to a position where we weren't going to be pointed at it directly. So just a brief synopsis of what's been going on. Started the Trans-Wisconsin Trail yesterday morning, in fact. Left Milwaukee about 7 a.m. Ended up starting the trail about 10 a.m. down on the Illinois border. I'm toward the end of Section 6 out of 9 sections. And so I thought I'd just give you a bit of a rundown of the sections real quick. At Section 1, you know, has a little bit of road, has a little bit of dirt road, lots of farmland down there. Comes alongside the Mississippi. It's a really nice, beautiful country. Section 2, which I'd previously run, was also, again, pretty cool. That was a little bit muddier than it was last time, so I'm doing the whole ride here without knobby tires, which may or may not have been a good idea, but I'd just say that that particular portion, Section 2, was probably one of the trickier spots as far as not having knobbies. The Section 3, lots of trails, and as we moved into Section 4, 5, and 6, we got away from more of the paved farm roads and then on to dirt roads and then even trails. And so hopefully I got some really good footage of the sand areas, because there was quite a bit of sandy trails, and I could see, you know, we've had some rain here in the last couple of days, but I could see how that would be really, really tricky, especially in these bigger bikes, because of the sand. I could see could get so deep. It was pretty whooped out already. Hopefully you get to see some of that, but I think the thing that made it easier for me was it was still a little bit wet, so it wasn't the end of the world. Just being up here in this country really makes you realize what blessings that we have to be able to enjoy this amazing piece of God's work. Look at that. Huh. Wow. Got some guys out fishing this morning. Causeway goes right between the lake. That's awesome.
Well, that's just great. Now, can we get back to the ride and quit sightseeing? That's right. I'm back. Mr. Insult, did you miss me?
Once again, a buttload of mosquitoes in every direction. But, you know, you just keep moving and they're a lot less of a problem. Beautiful morning on the Trans-Wisconsin Trail. Just started track number 7. And it looks like we should have a pretty nice run through here. I'd like to say this road also is fairly representative of the kind of trail you're going to see, although, boy, you just get a little bit of everything, which is a lot of fun. You have a single track, you've got loose gravel, sand, paved road. It's been a pretty mixed bag, which sure makes it a lot of fun. You can watch the bike. It's a little bit loose, but it's really tracking pretty well. I've got to say I'm pretty happy with how the GS handles gravelly roads. I'm not really pushing at all. I'm by myself out here, and I'm hours away from any real help or anything else, so I'm taking it nice and easy and just enjoying the ride. Figured somewhere up here we'd be crossing these rivers. There is a lot of water. In fact, this looks a little bit like the Namakagon River, but kind of fun little trail. This is turning into a little more of a Jeep trail. Now we'll take it. Yeah, and I am trying to miss all these puddles, FYI. Just takes me too long to clean this friggin' thing up. And I've been able to miss most of them. That's a nice boardwalk across the marshy area there. Well, maybe we'll be coming up on a little more water. I'm sure seeing a little bit more, at least in this area anyways, than I've seen on the trail earlier today anyways.
And presto, just like that, we're back to gravel roads. Oh, and mosquitoes.
I hope the GoPro can catch all these friggin' mosquitoes. This thing is, this is unbelievable. You definitely cannot stop, if only for a second.
Since Clownboy here wasn't courteous enough to turn on his Zoom recorder, I have to step in and tell you that this is the top of track 8. We're getting ever so close to the final track.
Well, as you can tell or not tell, we're into the final plot here, which is track number 9, and we're up on the peninsula, so we're getting very close to Lake Superior. Getting a little sandy.
Suffice it to say, our hero, unfortunately, survived the trip and made it to his destination. Now, rather than us sit here and watch a bunch of gratuitous selfie shots, maybe we should just get to the end. Well, here he is at Point Detour Campground, or the end of the road.
I don't know if you can see it or not out there, but that's Lake Superior and about 8 billion mosquitoes, and made it. Not really much worse for wear, a lot dirtier. Lots of fun. It was a great ride. Typical end of a dirt road deal here, so we're gonna see if we can climb down this cliff here and touch Lake Superior.
A couple of pro tips for completing the Trans-Wisconsin in 27 hours, and that is, be prepared to ride hard, not break down. Oh, and you won't need any food. Mosquitoes are great protein. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ride safe. Until then, take care now. Bye-bye then.